Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today is another episode in my Declutter series. I have done quite a bit so far. If you want to check out the other videos on my channel where it's more of like a here's my collection, here's what I'm keeping, here's what I'm not keeping type thing. Today is going to be face palettes, and I want to warn you. I don't know how many I'm actually going to get rid of. My hair's a mess because I went to the gym today. So I have some good stuff here. There are a few that I think I can part with. So I just want to emphasize that it's like a few. And this one's going to be more of like a collection video to show you what I have. So I really like face palettes. I really like the idea of an all-in-one palette that's like travel friendly that I can just kind of open up on my makeup vanity and use everything all at once. So let's just go ahead and get started. The first one I have is the Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush palette. The highlighter has like broken on this one. So on the bottom you have 3 powders, and on the top here you have 3 creams. Again, there's like diamond powder all over the place. This one I've never gotten any use out of, but I have used the rest of the shades and they're great. This diamond powder is one of the prettiest highlighters I've ever used in my life. It's great if you like glitter. So this doesn't appear to be able to be depotted, which is fine because they're creams. Half of them are creams. So I'm keeping that one. You're going to hear that a lot. Like I said, this is going to be more of like a collection video, but I do see a few I'm going to get rid of. I also have the Sculpt and Glow palette in light medium. So same format, 3 powders on the bottom, 3 creams on top. I haven't gotten a lot of use out of these yellow shades just because I'm so fair, but I really like the remaining 4 shades. Again, they can't be depotted, so that's fine. They're nice to travel with. They're nice and easy to use, and I'm super happy with them. Let's get rid of one. Okay, I can get rid of this one confidently. This is the OPV Beauty something, because there's no sticker on the back, and there wasn't when I got this in my BoxyCharm. It's just a face palette. Overall, the shades are a bit too deep for me. The highlighter is way too dark. It looks like I've never used the blush or the bronzer, so obviously I'm not too committed to that, so that can go. This is a relic that I'm pretty sure I just need to get rid of at this point. It's the Becca Après Ski Glow Face Palette, and here's my problem. So the blush is beautiful. This is actually a bronzer, which, okay, I actually might keep this because Becca is no longer. Some of the products are being sold by Smashbox now, so if you like the under eye brightener and the highlighter Champagne Pop, then Smashbox has been selling them. So we have a bronzer here. We have the highlighter here in Icicle, which I've never used because it's blue. It looks white, but it's actually blue. We have Opal, the highlighter here. We have Rose Quartz, the highlighter, which I don't love. It's just a little bit too pinky for me. And we also have Blushed Copper, which they're saying is a blush. We've got Winterberry, the blush down here, and then Bronze Bondi. They're saying this is a blush shade, and it's just not for me, at least. So I don't know what I want to do with this. When I do use a couple of shades that I can use out of this palette, I really do like it, but it's impossible to travel with because there's essentially like 4 or so shades that I'm never going to use. I think I might try to depot these 2, the bronzer and the blush, and then just kind of ditch the rest because I really do like that formula. And you can't get a Becca bronzer or a blush anymore. So, okay, moving on. I have this palette from NARS. This is the Euphoria Face Palette. So in here you have 3 different highlighters, 2 of which are too deep for me. And then you've got this set of eyeshadows. You have 3 mattes, and then the rest are shimmers. There are only a select few of products that I can use in this palette. I'm going to set it aside and think about it. Anyway. My mom called me out on one of my last videos. She's like, you don't get rid of anything. It's like, I know, but I'm trying. This I'm going to get rid of. This is the Wet n Wild In Love with Cocoa face palette. This shade, I'm not sure what they're wanting me to do with it. It may be a highlighter, but it's just too dark. And then this is just basic and fine. So that's gonna go. This is the Tarte Clay Play Volume 2 palette. I'm pretty sure I decluttered the original one that I had. So then I picked this one up because it's a little bit more comprehensive. You have a blush, bronzer, and highlighter, as opposed to the first volume of this palette only had 3 like bronzer contour shades. And then you've got your eyeshadows. I really like to use this as a travel palette. It pretty much has everything you need in here for eyes and face, and I like it. I like Tarte shadows a lot. And it's got a really nice solid magnetic closure. Smells good. I'm happy with it. I have a couple of these and I don't store them all in the same spot, so they're kind of scattered around. But I'm gonna keep these. These are the Jaclyn Bronze and Blushing Duo. This is Stay Rosy and Yummy Toffee. I think these are beautiful. I think they're great. I hate the packaging. It's like, you don't need packaging that thick. They're a nightmare to store. I don't know why she would go for a packaging like this. It's very her though. But these are great. These are just really, really good. You can't deny that from her. You can deny a lot of other things, but the bronzers are good. All right, I have this palette from Tarte. This is the Rainforest Temptations Eye and Cheek palette. So in here you have some neutrally eyeshadows, some like they're more like on the pinky side, and then you have a blush. It looks like I haven't used this more than like once. So I'm gonna make sure to use that. So bad. This I can probably, yeah, this I'll get rid of. This is the Stila Putty Blush and Bronzer Duo. Actually, I kind of want to try this one more time before I get rid of it. I don't know if these are named. No, they're not named. I'll give this one more try. They still feel like they've got some moisture to them. And I don't know if you can still buy this. Stila is still around. I saw that they actually like released a new product, which was surprising. This I'm going to get rid of. It's the e.l.f. Electric Mood and Petizion palette. I don't know who that is. But they're 4 cream shades. You have a highlighter, 2 blushes, and a bronzer. I remember using this and really liking it, but it's just not something I need to hold on to. I don't have like an attachment to it, you know. This is the Modern Mosaic Face Palette from Tarte. It came as part of the holiday set. I really like this. I'm a huge fan of Tarte's cream formula and their powder formula, so that will stay. I have 2 of these. One of these, I think this one survived my last declutter, so these are the Wander Beauty On The Glow Blush and Illuminator Sticks. This is the old packaging. This is their updated packaging. They definitely, I feel like, downgraded aesthetically with this packaging. It looks a lot cheaper. On one side, you have a highlighter. That's a cream. This one here is the shade Nude Glow. And then this one over here is the shade Nude Glow. Did I do this in the last declutter? I don't need 2 shades of this. I'm getting rid of this one. And then on the other side, there's a blush. This blush is the shade Petal Pink. I think it just runs a little bit too purpley for my taste, I think. Yeah, because, oh wait, no, or is it this one? This one. This one runs too purpley. This is the shade Bear. Are they the same shade? Let me swatch these. I'm only keeping one. That's for 100% certain. I remember not wanting this. Okay, yeah. So this shade here is Petal Pink from the Gold Duo, and I think it just runs a little bit too purpley for my taste. This is Bear, the blush from the cheaper packaging. And I like the highlighter on this one. Obviously, they're the same thing. I'm going to get rid of this one. That's the whole point. I'm getting rid of that one. But they are pretty, and they are a nice formula. I have this from ColourPop. This is their Born to Blush cheek palette. You have 2 blushes, a bronzer, and a highlighter. I don't remember ever using this, but it looks like I have. So I'm going to give this another try before I figure out what to do with it. This I'm getting rid of. It's the Alley Oops Stack the Odds in Sassy Pants. This is another BoxyCharm product. On the top, you have a cream highlighter. And then you have a cream bronzer and a cream blush down here. I just didn't think they were anything spectacular because they're not. They're not anything spectacular. Ooh, this can go. Okay, look, I'm getting rid of stuff. This is going to go. This is the CoverGirl Peach Punch Highlighter Palette. It still smells like peach. This bronzer is too light for me, and I'm like really fair. You have a blush and a highlighter. The highlighter's a little bit too dark for me. They were absolutely trying to copy this palette, the Sweet Peach Glow by Too Faced. They're trying to dupe it. This still smells like peach. This I've had for so long. Like the day this collection released, I bought it. Sometimes they have a copyright date on them. 2016. I've had this since 2016. They're all not hard panned. Okay, they still work. I'm gonna give them a try. This I'm gonna get rid of. I loved the Too Faced Sweet Peach collection. I think it was like, I don't think I've been that excited for a makeup collection since. And yeah, this stuff was great. I actually ended up giving away my Sweet Peach palette, and I keep thinking about repurchasing it, but I just don't need it. So this is another NARS palette. This is the Exposed Cheek palette, and I know there's a broken shade in here. Yeah, the highlighter shade is broken. I bought this on a trip to New York City with my mom, and I'm gonna get rid of it. I just don't need it. I don't use it, and it's out. It's out. Let's stick with NARS. This is the Full Dimension 1 cheek palette. You've got a bronzer here, which is called Indecent, which I'm sure is just Laguna. 2 blushes here, Controversy and Danger Zone, and then a highlighter called High Risk. This is really pretty, and it's nice to have a little all-in-one, so I'm going to keep that. Natasha Denona Love Glow cheek palette. I cannot recall the last time I used this. All 3 of the highlighter shades are too dark for me. And it's gonna go. Goodbye. It's leaving. It's going. It's going. What is this? Oh, the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette. This is spectacular. If you can get your hands on this, I don't know if she still sells it. Absolutely get it. This is the light shade. You have a powder highlighter? That's a cream blush. I believe that's a powder highlighter. I'm not 100% sure. And some matte shades. These shimmer shades are gorgeous. They are beautiful. And this is a fantastic palette to have. Let's look at, this can go. Actually, not, yeah. I had 2 of these at one point. The Sephora Collection Micro Smooth Multitasking Baked Face Palette. I think these blushes look really pretty, and the bronzer looks pretty too. The highlighter looks a little bit dark, but I think I'll give these one more try before they exit. This is interesting, and tell me if you guys ever saw this. I've asked her about this a couple times, and she has yet to answer, like, this at all. This is an Essence palette, and it was in collaboration with Casey Holmes, and I remember people were finding this on the shelf, and she had posted like an Instagram story or something that said something along the lines of like, I can't talk about it, and it wasn't supposed to be released. Probably because there is I don't know if she meant to say like Peachy Bean or Peachy Keen. I don't know, and it's got her name on the back and everything. This is a sticker. I haven't like torn it off yet to see. There is like something under it. But I've gotten a lot of use out of these. So you have 2 blushes down here and then 2 highlighters up here. The highlighters are really pretty. You have like a pinky one and then a more gold one here. And then I've like mixed these 2 shades together. But yeah, it even says on the bottom XOXO Casey. So like she's had Q&As and stuff on her Instagram before, and I've asked her about it, but she hasn't said anything. So I don't know. I know there was also a banana powder in that collection too, which I don't use, so I remember not buying it, but I did get this from an Ulta. So I don't know what happened there. This is the Complex Culture In the Moment Baked Highlighter and Bronzer Quad. These are great. I think this is BoxyCharm's in-home brand or something like that. And these are really nice. They're pretty pigmented, and they're all like glowier products. Like the bronzers definitely have more of a shimmery finish to them, but I think that they're really nice. This I'm gonna get rid of. I think I've used it like maybe once. It's the Wet n Wild Hula Honey Glow Face Palette. It's a Stitch collaboration. I think I must have used this at least once. It doesn't look like I've ever used it, but I have like a recollection of using it, or at least like, I don't know. It's going. It doesn't have a smell or anything. It's going. It's going. All right. Oh, a hair extension hook is in here. This is the Cover FX Perfector Face Palette in light to medium. I remember getting a lot of use out of this and really liking it. It's nice to have everything all in one. This brightener is what I use as a highlighter. The finishing powder has some glitter in it, but The rest of the shades are really pretty. Keep it. Okay, so then I have the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Look of Love in a palette. Pretty Blushed Beauty 5-Minute Face palette. So here's what you have in here. You've got 3 eyeshadows. You have a highlighter, a blush, what she says is a setting powder, but is definitely too dark for me, and then a bronzer. Or like a contour. It says it's the airbrush, it's the bronzer. And then they're saying this is the airbrush powder. I like this. I like it. I'm going to keep it. And I wish they could have like lightened this one up a little bit more, but the rest of them are really pretty. You can absolutely do a full face with this. I like it. That's the only product I have from Charlotte Tilbury, I think. I really don't have a lot from her. This is the Too Faced Natural Face Palette. You have 3 blushes, a bronzer, and 2 highlighters. This I'm going to get rid of because it smells sickening. It's like a very sweet vanilla smell, and it's unbelievably, I can't do it. I can't smell it. So I never use this palette because I can't stand the smell. And it's leaving my home. All right, and then last but not least, I will show you the embarrassing amount of Hourglass face palettes I have. And I will take you through them. This is the Ambient Lighting Edit Mini Sculptured Unlocked. It's a quad. The rest of them are not. They're like slipping off of my lap, and that's really starting to concern me. All right, here is what the inside of this palette looks like. You have a highlighter, what they call like the finishing powder, like the ambient lighting powders, a bronzer, and a blush. The blush is a little bit purpley for my taste, but this is a gorgeous palette. I even convinced my mom to buy one for herself. So that's great. This is the Ambient Lighting Edit Ghost palette. This one runs quite light. You have your 2 blushes, bronzer. The highlighter is, I think it's this one. Yeah, maybe. They all kind of look the same to me, or maybe it's this one. And then the other 2 are finishing powders. What does it say? Finishing powder, strobe light. Okay, so this is the highlighter here. I've gotten a lot of use out of this. It's very pretty. Hourglass formulas are obviously really, really good. The next one I have is the Ambient Lighting Edit Volume 4. I don't get a lot of use out of these blushes unless I mix them together, but I love the bronzer, the highlighters, and the finishing powders. I want to see how many duplicates I have because I know. Dim light and diffuse light are in both of these. Iridescent rose and turtle bronze light. Okay, so far we just have duplicates of the finishing powders in here. I need to just like reality check myself about how many duplicates I have. Same are in here. The same, this is the Ambient Lighting Sculpture palette. So you have the highlighters, the finishing powders, 2 blushes and bronzers. I want to see what similarities we've got here. Dim light and diffuse light are both in all 3 so far. Natural bronze light, I feel like, no, that's not in any of the other ones. Vibrant flush. Nope, not in these ones. And then mood exposure is in this one, but not in the other ones. Okay, so again, we have just the finishing powders. And then the last one I have is the Ambient Lighting Edit Universe palette, which is structured a little bit differently than the other 3. So you have a really, really big infinity powder, they called it. It's a finishing powder, just like the other dim light and diffuse light powders. You have your strobe blush in Vibrant Heat. You have a blush in Luminous Rose. Yep, down here. You've got your bronzer in Glistening Bronze, which I don't think is repeated. It is not. And then finally you have the strobe powder, which is right here, the highlighter in Supernatural. So it looks like these are all unique to this palette. I don't have any other duplicates. And it's gorgeous. It's so pretty. Hourglass powders just blend beautifully, and they have a really specific look on the skin that I don't think can be replicated very easily. So we're keeping all of those because they were expensive. So yeah, those are the ones that I'm keeping, the ones that I'm getting rid of. I have concealers to do next, as well as single shadows and like liquid shadows and stuff. So I actually might do that right now because I've got the time. So let me know what you guys think about the products that I am keeping and getting rid of. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.